Welcome, Gunrunner.
Hello everybody, Q&A the Laird here, and I'm back with another book review for you. As you can see, it's a Gremlin in the Works by Bitmap Books, a book I actually came out originally quite a while ago, but it has been revised more recently, and it's a book I've been after for a while, and the last time I tried to order it, it was out of stock, so it took a lot longer for me to acquire it than I originally thought it was going to, but I got quite a few Amazon vouchers for Christmas, and I saw it was on offer on Amazon. I think it was £4 off, if I remember rightly. So I pulled the trigger and bought one. So I'm glad to finally add it to my very large collection of retro gaming books, because I was a big fan of Gremlins games back in the day. I'll go into a little bit more as we look through the book. So it's a big old thing, as you can see. It's a strange shape, this one. Kind of not quite square, rather than, it's not the kind of usual A4 size that you'd probably expect with such a book. Like a lot of Bitmap's other stuff is a more kind of regular size. But my God, is this thing big. You can see straight away when I turn it around. It is massive. You see there, Gremlin in the Works, 1983 to 2015. And written by Mark Hardesty, who, if you follow him on Twitter, as I've done for a long time, he gives some great insights into those days and Gremlin graphics, being a real devotee of Sheffield, obviously where Gremlin originated from, and talks a lot about that, the whole scene that grew up around Sheffield and Yorkshire, because a lot of really prominent developers actually came from that part of England. So it's obviously got a little bit about the blurb on the back. But we'll have a look through it in a minute. So you can see there again, big old thing. Let's say actually how many pages it's got out of interest before I go through the book. What's the last page number? Does it have one? 555, so it's 55657. So it's 560 pages. The last few pages that have page numbers on, which is a bit strange. So yeah, that's mammoth, 560 pages. Bloody hell, enormous. So, I mean, it starts off, let's open it up. I mean, it really follows like a timeline. It starts off right at the beginning of how they came about, Gremlin, which, for those that don't know, there was a computer shop in Sheffield called Just Micro, and they decided, let's not just sell games, I think we should make games as well. And that's how Gremlin Graphics was basically formed. They no longer exist as a company. They were bought out by, I think in 95, I believe. Is it 95 or 96? Might be 96 actually. They were bought out, I'm sure it's in the book later on. Yeah, they were bought out by Infogrames, and soon after that they became Infogrames Sheffield Studio, and then Infogrames not long after that became Atari. They changed their name after their acquisition of the Atari IP. So yeah, so although the Atari IP the Gremlin IP is owned by, should be technically owned by Atari. Atari had a big fire sale a few years ago where they sold off loads of their IP, and loads of it was bought by by Ian Stevenson, one of the founders of Gremlin. Ian Stewart, sorry, not Ian Stevenson. I got mixed up there. That's a bit about it there. And he had a new company, which I'm trying to remember the name of. It's something like Subscan or something like that. It might be in here. And basically, he bought up a lot of the old Gremlin IP off Atari, purchased it back. I think Pico Interactive have bought some of it as well. So it's been spread about. I'm not sure Atari own any of it anymore. To be honest, they possibly still own the Gremlin name, but that's about it. I'm not sure if they still own anything like Zool or Monty Mole or any of the big name games that they created. So it says there about Ian Stewart and Kevin Norburn founding Gremlin. I was trying to think where I got the Stevenson bit from, and I just remembered there's a programmer who worked with them. I think it was Rich Stevenson, and that's where I've got confused. I think he's interviewed later on in the book. So obviously there it's got some early pictures of that area and a whole interview about how it started. Now this book is very, very, very heavy on interviews. So if you like reading interviews, as I do, developer interviews, then this is brilliant, because I think to look at the book looks like it's going to be more like a lot of Bitmap's other stuff, having a more visual style to it, like the visual compendium. So a lot of images and less text and less on the interviews. But it's actually reverse. This is very, very text heavy. As you can see, I mean, those 2 pages there isn't even a picture on those 2 pages. So that's what to expect with the book. It is very, very text heavy. Very, very few pictures. So what we'll do is we'll flick through some of it, because it's such a big book, as I say, and I'm not going to cover the whole lot in this video because that'd be silly. So you can see in there's letters that were sent to people. There's original artwork, as you can see there. There's interviews not just with Gremlin, but other people that Gremlin kind of worked with, people like Imagitech Design and US Gold and people like that. Because of course, famously, Gremlin did the ports of Gauntlet, which were published by US Gold, but it was Gremlin who did the conversions. Funnily enough, one of US Gold's most successful and best ports, because they actually gave it to someone competent and didn't give it to people like Tiertex, because a lot of US Gold's arcade ports were terrible. So there's the iconic Monty Mole, who for years was their mascot. Alongside, in a way, with Jack the Nipper, he was another one that was a kind of a bit of a mascot for the company for a while. So there's all sorts of historical pictures and interviews. There's their original logo actually there with the Gremlin at the top. Their logo changed a few times. I think the one on the cover is the one that people most remember. Thing on a spring. What we've got there that we've missed. Try and show you some more of the artwork that's in the book. Beaver Bob. Okay, not sure what that is. Don't recognise that one. There's some screenshots from some of their games as well. Like Rocco, not trying to rip off Rocky too much there. Bounder. Screenshots from Bounder. There's some stuff about the US Gold relationship. Monty on the Run, a very famous game of theirs. There's Jack the Nipper I was talking about, and some design, even just some design sketches. Jack the Nipper. Great photos of people actually working at their desks. There's Gauntlet, as I was saying, that's the or the loading screen. So we've got the Spectrum one there. That's big. That's Atari 8-bit down there. Amstrad, Commodore 64, and Atari ST versions of that loading screen. Chubby Gristle, great story behind that one. Really, really good. If you don't know it, I won't ruin it. It's just such a great story. Masters of the Universe, which I think a lot of people forget they did a game of the Masters of the Universe films that starred Dolph Lundgren. There's Ian Stewart and Kevin Norburn again, the founders. Lotus, another really, really famous Gremlin release. The Lotus trilogy, of course. Really good. Harlequin. There's Zool, another undoubtedly one of Gremlin's most famous games. Actress Soccer. So sort of going into their later years here before they got taken over. I'm sure that's in this bit here somewhere. So Loaded. Oh, brilliant game, Loaded. I loved that on the Saturn so much. A bit like an evolution of Gauntlet in many ways, but really, really gory. Loved it. Brilliant game. So we're going into 96. I think this must have been when the 96 and 97, I think the takeover must have been. there we go. It's a lot later than I thought, actually. It says 1999 was the last year of them as an independent entity. I thought it was earlier than that for some reason. So yeah, it took a while, actually. And the funny thing was, at the same time, Infogrames also bought DMA Design, most famously, obviously, kind of still around because they went back to being an independent company and became Rockstar North. But yeah, DMA, so there was this kind of relationship where it was Gremlin, DMA, and Infogrames. You can see there on this, they kind of merged the companies together. And Imagitech Design actually were the other company that were merged into there. But as Imagitech Design were more of a developer rather than a publisher. But a lot of the Imagitech Design went to work at Gremlin. So there's the offices there. That became the Infogrames Sheffield House, as it says there. Infogrames Sheffield House, their logo. So yeah, it goes right up until the end of the company. Loads of great artwork in there. Hogs of War, that is there. Yeah, so, and oh yeah, worth mentioning there was Sumo Digital, who I mentioned near the end, because Sumo Digital was made up of lots of old Gremlin staff. I've lost that page now, but yeah, Sumo Digital, very much in the legacy of them, because it's all of yeah, I mean, it says there Sumo Digital, made up mostly of people who worked at Gremlin. So yeah, they're in there. A bit about them as well, which is great. Obviously, Sumo Digital become well known for creating really great racing games, and there's a bit about the author as well, Mark Hardesty, and yeah, and he talk about how he used to make a weekly pilgrimage to Just Micro, and that's why he's got such a passion for Gremlin. So that's the book. Yeah, and it's, if you loved Gremlin like me and have great memories of playing their games, then it's a brilliant book. I must just mention, actually, one thing that did surprise me about it is that it didn't come in a slipcase. Given what a big old book it is, and the fact that most of Bitmap's other ones do come in slipcases, I was really surprised I didn't get a slipcase with it. It was just the book. I don't know if there is a slipcase version. I could have sworn I saw one, so maybe I didn't get the slipcase for some reason. Quite strange, but it's not really a big problem. It just protects the book better and looks nice. But, you know, I have to say, it's an excellent book, and if you don't already own it, I highly recommend buying it. It's another quality product from Bitmap Books, and I really don't have anything negative to say about it. Just positives. It's a absolutely fascinating read. I haven't even worked all my way through it yet, but I was keen to get this review up. But I'm quite eager to read the rest of it and get it finished. I just kind of picked and chose the bits I want to read at the moment, but I will read it all the way through. But yeah, everything I've read, fantastic so far, so I recommend everyone goes and buys it. I thank you for watching my review of A Gremlin in the Works, and I'll see you all again for another video very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.